Okay, recently I had did a spring look. It was kind of just because I feel recently did a spring look just because it's like my favorite season, so I'm like, why not? Well, out of my collection, what products I consider spring like, or what are pretty good and long lasting in the spring. I feel like some warm tones, maybe some peaches, a lot of pink. The look, it should be the thumbnail, but it's here. I'm gonna list most of them below if it's like, because some of them are like it's like a mix of drugstore and some high-end. This is from the Dollar Tree though. I swear by this. This is the Be Pure Essentially Ageless with hyaluronic acid and vitamin C. And it's a really nice brightening powder. I had this in a slightly deeper shade, and that was the deepest shade. Like, this can be the deepest shade, so just like beware of that. But I like it for brightening under the eyes after powder, not a finishing powder, but after I powder under my eyes, and I feel like I want a little bit more without adding extra concealer to like, of course it's gonna make it like really cakey. So I use this. Thank you, but the stuff that you can find at Sephora or some indie brand stuff. So let's get started. Starting off my prep, I just used some of this. I did my normal skin, regular skincare that I usually do. It's a little bit later in the afternoon now, so just to like rehydrate, I used the Hero Clear Collective Balancing Capsule Toner. It doesn't really come off as a toner though. It has like little, you can't see that, but there's like tiny beads in here, tiny little oil beads, and I feel like it just is really nice for like a boost if you need that. Or Too Faced Hangover Refreshing Prime and Setting Spray. So I think really quickly I'm just gonna do my eyebrows off camera, because that's like, you know, you just do your eyebrows how you do eyebrows year round. So let's start there. I will show you what I used though. I used to use, okay, so this really nasty container, I mean, I used that just for concealer, but this is the Ismaya brow lac that I love wholeheartedly. She is my favorite now, because I ran out. I just used Got To Be. It does a decent hold. Not the hold that I like a slick look to my brows, and that Ismaya brow lac did that for me. Just for this, I love a chocolate brow in the spring. This is literally chocolate by Kiss New York Top Brow. It's the brow cream, like pomade, and it's literally just in chocolate. My brows are black, like my hair, but I usually use this, or I use the KVD brow pigment in amber. I just turned the camera back on so I can show you how I do one brow. It's not very different from how I do my brows, like just in general, but I guess I do like I have a lighter hand doing like a spring look. It doesn't have to be super. I like a wispy, fluffy, kind of bushy, pretty much. Oh. I'll add a little bit by little bit, but brushing that out definitely helps. And that's pretty much good enough for me until I clean this up with concealer. Yeah, I want to do the other brow really quickly. Thank God I wear black, because dang it. Yeah, clean my brows up right now. I'm just Got To Be glue. And look, what I used was the Vive concealer. Yeah, Modern Radiance Concealer, Customizable Coverage, and I'll agree with that. It's the shade Tan 4. So first thing I started with was Skin Electrolytes. It's that one. And I just kind of rubbed this in the places I need it done. If you wanted like a more natural, you could do like less glowy things. Maybe don't go in with because I'm going in with the L'Oreal Clotion. Maybe you don't have to do that if you don't want it to be super glowy. So I usually prep this. This is the Maybelline Plump Lip Chili Plumper. This is the one that's like extra. Sorry, it's gross. This is shade Peach Fever. So firstly, starting out, I am gonna go in with that Glotion. I do a bit of like an underpainting. It just adds a nice gloominess to underneath your foundation. then for this, I just kind of take that all the way around, getting the neck. Also, it evens out your tone a little bit too. Now, I do like to do a little spot correcting and color correcting and spot correcting. So I usually use my RCMA palette. This is the RCMA Makeup Vincent Cahill. This is what it looks like. This is a Sephora 71 brush. I just kind of dip into these three for like under the eyes. And that's literally when I'm taking this. Right under the eye. For added lift effect, I do some like that, just to kind of help with the snatch effect. Now for a refresh, my skin's just bone dry all the time. I just kind of put this right on this side, like right there. Just a little bit, a little goes a long way. Be like naturally dark. And that's what I do. I just do leave that there. Because I still use bronzer. I just want a little bit of a shadow. And I do use a Laura Mercier. This is a powder brush, but I love this shape for the cheek. Upwards. It blends out like a dream. It doesn't really make that much of a difference just yet. But once everything is on, it comes together really nicely. A dupe, I guess, for this would be like the e.l.f. Contours Wand. It's extremely fast. I just use some blush. This is a liquid blush. This is the Give Dewy Plump Collagen Cheek Tint in the shade Peony. That's what I feel like I like about it most. I think they discontinued this brand, if I'm not mistaken. It's so sad. But I usually put it on my cheek, about 3 dots, 2 dots, and then another 3 dots on this side. To blend that out, I'm going to be using the MAC, where it's like you're blushing from within, not so much just like sitting on top. And it blends in so nicely. I love this blush. I'm gonna be sad when I run out. Okay. I did end up putting, well, we'll save that for the powder blush. Next, this is the Revlon. It's completely gone. It's a Revlon highlighter, cream highlighter. This brush is losing so many hairs and it's time for me to just throw it away, but I'm holding on for dear life for some reason. And it's just like shake, just like a beauty blender. Tap some of that on, and then it works fine. This does have like a larger glitter particle, but for me it doesn't show up as extreme texture, especially if I'm using it underneath the foundation. It's just right where that light is hitting. A little on the nose. House Labs. I feel like House Labs is very spring coated anyway. The finish is natural. Yeah, it's like a natural finish. It just looks, it melts in like skin, and it's always gonna be something I will go back to for sure. And I have the shade. It's a bit more yellow for me. I did buy it online, but I can make it work, especially if I'm like more pale now than I would be. Some more like washed out than I probably would be. When, as you can see, she's very yellow on my skin tone, but we're gonna make her work. I'm gonna give this a shake, and I probably use about 2 pumps. Ooh, 1.5 pumps actually. We'll start off with that. Less dense brush, so it has like these really nice like fibers. I'm just gonna distribute less product. So that's what we're gonna do. Again, I'm gonna be using this brush. I'm just gonna work this in, not to get too much product just yet. Just kind of working it into skin. I'm gonna go in with that beauty blender. I'm gonna go back in with that brush that I used to contour and just kind of work. I'll do going with another set of spray. I don't mind a dewy look. You probably want to skip this if you don't want super dewy. Okay, so while we're here, I'm going to be taking my Groundwork palette, very used Groundwork palette, and I'm going to be going into the shade Harvest just for my lips right now. It's there. So, that Maybelline done its job. Oh, it's an AOA brush, Miss A. But it's really good for like lining the lips. I'm going to take this. And then for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Beautiful Skin. It's my favorite bronzer, and I think I took it off of Sephora. I don't know if I discontinued it. I could not find this on Sephora, but this is the Sun Kissed Glow Bronzer in the shade 310. That's what it looks like. Very used, very delicious, very scrumptious. 10 out of 10, do recommend. I just want to press it in where you want it first, and then work it in. I'm a little too far down. We'll clean it up in just a sec. I'm gonna take a minute to just blend all of this out. Now we're gonna go in with concealer. So so the two concealers that I used during this look was the Vive Modern Radiance in the shade 4 and the shade 5. I just got this. I want to try Kosas out. I'm late to the party, I know, but this is like a brighter shade that I just want to try on the eye. I think I just used those for the look that I'm doing. But yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. This is a brighter one, so it should be nice. Shade 4, just in like, which maybe we won't do shade 4 since we use on the brow. Maybe we'll just go straight in with the Kosas. So doing that first in shade 5. This concealer is really, really good for like not creasing. It is a thicker consistency, but I like it. It's really nice. Just to again on the forehead. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna conceal or do a little cleanup, I guess. Not even showing you like that shade. And I'm gonna go in and just kind of take that right down like that, right underneath where I put that contour in the beginning. Doing the same thing on this side. Bring it down. Deal. Just always my type of deal. And my concealer out just a little bit around the edges. Okay. Oh, before we do that, I'm gonna actually go in with that brush and just kind of go right there. Right. So then, I'm just gonna use some of this Fenty. This is the Fenty, the original, not the new reformulated one. This is the shade in Hazelnut, so I have it here. I'm gonna just use a powder puff. Get that on there, tap that out, and set. Perfecto. Now we can get into the eyes. I'm gonna leave this a set just for a little longer. Those, but I'm gonna use my I'm gonna use that pink. Should I use the pink shade? Sure. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection in the shade Deep Pink. I'm tapping out all those extra little wrinklies to set my eyes. So what I used for that look was just, like I said, a palette, products that scream spring to me, and this one does. This is the Utopian Dreams palette by Pat McGrath. I haven't used it much, but when I do use it, I feel like spring is the time to use it. So that's what I'm gonna be using now. I use these 3 shades. It's deeper brown. I don't think I used that. I'm just gonna go in, I think, with this first shade, which is like a rosy brown tone. I'm gonna tap into that. This is a MAC brush, just a like tapered, frayed, tapered brush. Tapping that off, and I'm literally just putting that, let's see, like right on the corner first. I am dragging out to the corner just a little bit, like that. It's very nice. It's not like wash of color on the tail end, and then I'm gonna go. It's my favorite shade out of the whole palette. It's like a peachy coral. I'm gonna tap into that. Same with the MAC brush, like a packer brush. There. I need to tap it off. I feel like the look is supposed to be like more natural, like worn in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking it so much up and out, just laying it on my like inner lid. So like that. A little bit more color. And for a little bit of depth in the inner corner, I go in with a Vive. This is the Eye Wand in Espresso. Deeper than that shade, that's in the deepest shade in the palette. And then I take like a little and just kind of, I'm building that up. To finish and make like a little wing, I did go in with the One Size Point Made Busty Brown. Just add a little flick right at the end. Yeah, that's the look for the eye. The star of the show though is the shade from Odin's Eye eyeshadow in the shade Maya, like packing brush, and I am going to wet the brush. I did that the first time as well. Okay, picking up someone there. I'm literally just laying that right on. Ooh, so pretty. Right here and more. So I'm focusing that like in the corner, and then I'm stopping right in the middle. That fluffier tapered brush and just kind of blending out those sparkles. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue that on this eye. I'll be right back. Okay, we finished the eyes with like this nice peachy, shimmery type of moment. So now we're gonna start to blend out that concealer. Handy dandy beauty blender. I just kind of and to set this, I am using the L'Oreal Deep Pink powder. Any creasing I might have. Okay. So just went in my eye, no biggie. Like that. I'm just gonna go in with a brush first, the MAC brush, just to kind of prepare my under eyes for more powder. Okay, for powder, bronzer, I'm just gonna use the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer. I can't speak. Sunstalker bronzer in Cocoa Naughty. Perfect. Foundation into my face. That powder kind of washed This is just to add more color into the face in general. Using a bigger powder brush into there, swirling it around. In the spring, you just want to be this Milani one in Dulce Pink, but I haven't used this. This is the Vive gift set. This is the Treasure Tin in the shade Chirrup, and it comes with a blush. It's a blush and lip dupe duo. I think I got this around the holidays last year, but I love the blush. I haven't tried this. Maybe we'll try that one today instead of the lip combo we actually use, but it's still like the same genre of pink. Yeah, that's what that looks like. I think they have them available, and there's different shades as well. So I use this as a little jewelry box, or very spring for me, which is really nice. I'm gonna use that first with that same MAC brush and just kind of swirl some pigment on. Cool and pretty and fresh. I think that's what I'm looking for, very fresh. I put some on my chin. I did put some on my forehead. Really working it like right here. Taking that bronzing brush, just kind of another spray of spray. I'm gonna go in also. I said I like more glow, girl. So here's more glow. This is the Fenty Demi Glow in Loose Change, which is like a very fine highlighter. Again, on the high points of the cheeks. So pretty. For the tight line on the top lid, I'm using this NYX dark brown shadow, or dark brown eyeliner, just for the top. A busty brown shade. Mascara, I use the Ismaya. This is the Ismaya, such a pretty collection. This was the Wild Star collection, and this one is the Lash Lasso in Dead of Night. It's like a really deep black. I'm literally just focusing this more on the out than inside. I do it at an angle just so it can get the ends more than it does the middle. Simple, pretty, fresh. Finishing powder. This is the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder. That's gone, so I have no idea. I think it's just called the finishing powder. Using the Tresique brown and brushing that up as well. Which I love, the Milani Make It Last. I have two which kind of mimic my natural lip tone anyway, so I'm not gonna come up super. What's gonna make it is this. This is the NARS Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm. It's very comfortable on the lips, and this is in the shade Dangerous Affair. It's gonna work on a definition in just a sec. I just want to get the overall base down. NARS Dangerous Affair. And I'm really just using this on my top lip. Right there. Going just a tad bit past. This is the Flamingo shade, and then I have the we're not using that. Okay, so we're gonna use the Flamingo shade, but we're gonna top it with Chirrup from just a really nice bright pinky tone. Super pretty. What? I'm gonna go back to that Kiss Deep Dark Liner and define. Taking that one just under, like right here. Gloss wouldn't hurt. This is the gloss. It's a really pretty hot pink shade. Really big doe fun. So pretty. I think I'm gonna apply this with a brush though, because I don't want it like all over the lip. A MAC 311 brush. Just taking that like actually from the inside on there. Yeah, that just makes it even more like super punchy. Bring like blush and lip, top tier. Love that so much. Almost done. We're gonna be going into that beautiful dollar store powder I was talking about at the beginning. We're gonna use that and I'm gonna show you why I love it so much. Just gonna put it right there. It's not gonna come up on camera, but do you see what that does? Like, just kind of adds like this like blurring, really pretty blurring effect. Yeah, perfect. And the chin. This is the Ismaya fine point. This is a really like skinny. Yeah, it's a micro liner ink, a eyeliner, but I use this to dot my moles, which I have. You can see right there. Some right here and some over here. I'm just gonna do this one and this one though. And I do boy make one right above my lip. Oh. Can you see that? Again with that setting spray. Right. And there it is, like a really nice wash of color without being too dramatic. Type of springtime look. I feel like the lip really makes it. Lip in the eyes. You don't even need the eyes if you don't want to. This is pretty. So that is the look. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys want to see anything like down below or anything, any like trends or anything like that that's out. I don't really know of any at the moment, but I definitely scan through my Pinterest or Instagram just to see like what's out there. Anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in the next video. Bye.